So what is going on, guys? NandoPrince93 here with another video, and this is going to be a quick one. I did a video before on how to use Google Docs, the web version on Safari on iPadOS, because now that iPadOS has come around, Safari has become a desktop class web browser, which means that you should be able to, access all your Google Docs, be able to edit them and not just view them, and kind of do everything that you would on a normal desktop computer or laptop, right? So, but then I got a lot of questions because I am a Microsoft Suite user, especially for work. So I use, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, what else is there? Skype, even though it doesn't really exist anymore, OneNote for all my notes. And people were asking me, can you use Microsoft Suite on iPadOS and use all the features that iPadOS comes with? So what that means essentially is, you know how now when you go to Safari, for instance, right, you can have two instances of that Safari. So yeah, obviously you have the tabs, right? But what you can do now is you can break it up, pull this out, move it to the side, and open a second, instance of that same application. Before iPadOS, you couldn't do that, right? So the question was, and you can do the same thing with notes, you probably do it with pages, and the question is now, can you have, let's say, two Excel files open at the same time, right? So first let me test out if you can have two Microsoft iOS applications open at the same time, right? So let me open up OneDrive and Teams, for instance, right? So as you guys can see, you can open up two Microsoft apps at the same time. So I have OneDrive on the right and Teams on the left. But if you go, first off, the main thing that Apple has to fix is when it does come to the multitasking, unless it's on the bottom bar, you can't multitask. And even if it is on the bottom bar, if it's in a folder like my Microsoft Suite is, you can't do it. So let's say I open up, let's get rid of one of these. Let's say I open up my Teams, right? If I try to click on the folder and try to open up, let's say, my Outlook, you can't do it. It won't let you multitask out of a folder, which is kind of absurd and annoying. So what you have to do is either save it onto your home screen or your bottom bar, or make sure it's on these last three. So like I said, as of now, you can have two different Microsoft apps running at the same time, but for instance, in the regular Mail app, you can open up the Mail app, and if you need two emails open at the same time, you just hold down on one email, move it over to the side, and you have two instances of the same application running side by side. So if you need to copy what's on one email into the other one, you're good to go. But if you use Outlook as your main email thing, or as your main email client, you cannot have two instances of Outlook open. If you hold down and try to drag it over, it just kind of long presses unless you try to select multiple emails. So as of right now, no, it is not perfect. Apple needs to kind of touch a couple things and touch up on a few things. A, they have to be able to allow multitasking through folders that are in the dock. And B, Microsoft has to get the SDK of iPadOS to be able to allow us to use multiple instances of the same application. So if I want to have two Excel files at the same time, right now it's impossible, which is kind of annoying. And those are the little things that are still holding the iPad Pro back from a regular desktop or a regular laptop computer. Because as of right now, unless it's a Apple application, the instances of the same application are not going to work. So like I said, Chrome doesn't work that way. YouTube doesn't work that way. So you can have two videos running simultaneously. I don't know who would do that, but you can't do that. So those are the things that need to be touched up on really quickly. And I'm sure as time goes on, more and more applications will be touching on that and making sure that it all works. And slowly but surely, iPad Pro and iPadOS will be a fully functional laptop replacement. But that's gonna do for this video. Hopefully that helps somebody, make a decision and see, or maybe hold off on the iPad Pro or hold off on iPadOS until then. But don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and until next time, peace.